Hey, what's up guys, it is Psycho or Sam here and welcome back to my channel guys, and today I'm very excited to bring you guys a commentary finally again. It's been a while, how are you guys doing? But today we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of people have been asking me lately, especially since I started really putting my focus onto level designing a lot more than before. And that's basically how, what's the most difficult part of making a level design? What is it that makes it difficult for me to make a level? And this is going to be a opinion-based video, so if you dislike these kind of biased videos where I kind of just share my experience, you may leave now, but I still challenge you to stay in case you're interested in this topic and you want to learn a few things. And before we start guys, I just want to say one last thank you, and that's basically because you guys have been supporting me so much lately. And also, please do suggest me your tutorial videos that you would like to see and other type of videos that you would like to see on my channel being made, because I am going to be making more fan content or fan requested content. So anyway, I don't want to spend more time with this, but just let me know in the comments down below what kind of suggestions you have for video recommendations. So to get this started off, I just want to define what difficulty actually could be for some people. And for some people it's like, well, you know, finding these assets, making a level. For some people it's coming up with an idea, which is going to be a huge part of this video, spoiler alerts. And some people think that it's difficult to find a game engine, whatever. Like there are just so many points that people think are difficult of making a game level. But what actually is, in my opinion, the most difficult part of making a level design? That's the main question. And I simply believe that the most difficult part of making a level design is simply putting your tools into work. A lot of people start learning, let's say we're gonna use Unity, right? As an example for this video. So you learn Unity, you learn how to use the terrain system, the post-processing stacks and whatnot, and you feel ready, and you're like, okay, now is the time for me to make a level design, let's get it going with it. And then you start planning your ideas, like planning ahead, which is a very good thing, and you come up with your idea, you're like, okay, this is the level design that I'm going to make, let's get started. And then you just sit there blank and you don't really have anything to do, you feel like you're completely stuck, and you end up either giving up or you make like a level design which you think doesn't look really good, which doesn't really look good, but you still feel like you put your best into work and you feel like, okay, this is the best that I can do. Either I'm bad or this is a good level design and I'm just blind. So what do you think the problem here is? Is it that you didn't really learn the engine? Is it that you're stupid? Or is it that your imagination sucks? Is it maybe that your level design idea was really terrible? I believe that neither of those are true. I believe you have either learned the engine very good, or at least to a point where you actually feel ready to make a level design, because that's the point why you got actually started with the level design. You're like creative enough to either look up an image from Google and be like, okay, I can get inspired by this image and make like a level design based upon it. I do it all the time, like it's a normal thing. And you have enough crazy fantasy to actually start up your computer, start up a game engine and be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down today and make a level design. That's a good thing, but it's not good enough. Like, you still have to put some effort into it, because I see that a lot of people that are learning the engine, like they have learned the engine so good that they know how to use the post-processing, they know how to create a terrain or landscape, they know how to add a vegetation that is correct to the game level, but they don't put their tools into work. Why? I don't know, because they know how to use them, but they just don't use them when the point actually hits. It's like you come up to a scene, you're about to start like singing, you imagine that you're an amazing singer, and then you start singing terribly. It's pretty much the same. And the problem here is, first and foremost, the self-confidence. If you go into your game engine and be like, okay, I'm gonna make a level design, you know, it's good, but it's not good enough. If you say, okay, I'm going to make a level design that is going to include this and that and that and this, and then you just like start making a sketch. You know, you plan ahead of your level design in a serious term, you're good to go. Because then you know what you're supposed to do. Because when you sit there blank and you don't know what to do, it means that you don't really have a plan. You don't know where to start, you don't know how to like continue the level even if you have started, and even if you continue the level, you don't know how to end it in a proper way. Because not only is it important to actually plan ahead of your level design, but it's also important to have a plan that you're going to follow throughout your video or your level design or whatever you're making, so that you know what step comes next, so that you can prepare for it before we actually hit that point. Now, of course, you can freestyle as much as you want. You can freestyle the entire level if you wish to, but I still suggest you that you actually put your tools into work. Not only that, but you also plan ahead of your level design by making a little sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be a good amount of prototyping. It's just supposed to be a sketch, so that you know what's actually going to come up in your level design. So you know, okay, I'm done with this, let's say, hill on the left side. Now comes the castle on the right side, so that I can start building it. And when you feel like you're at a level where you actually plan ahead of your level design, and you feel like, okay, now I know, like I have a structure, I have a plan of what I'm supposed to do in my level, then you can start actually freestyling, because that's adding your personal skills and developing your personal skills throughout the process of making a level design, which is a good thing. But you have to start small, because I didn't start off making videos where I was like, okay, I'm going to make a godlike level design. I'm still not like that, but I still have like really high standards for myself, so that I don't, you know, disappoint you guys, because I have a responsibility, I feel like. And I didn't start off making, like, my first level design video, I wasn't like, okay, this is going to be amazing, I'm going to freestyle the shit out of this. I was just like, I literally sat down like 10 minutes or like 8 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I want to make a forest, because I really like making forest levels. And I want to have some grasses. I don't want to have one type of grass. I want to have a few types of. And I freestyled the amount of types. So I still add my personal skill in there, but it's not from the beginning. Like, it comes later in the process, so that you don't, because if you start freestyling inside of your like head as soon as you get started with this level, you're going to lose track, and you're going to lose where you actually, like, what point you are on in the plan. And by plan, I don't mean that you have to like literally write down the entire structure for a level design. You're just supposed to be like, okay, first and foremost, add grass. Second time, or like second point, add the grass, or like draw the vegetation into my terrain. And like draw the path, like add some terrain textures and draw the paths that people are going to be able to walk on. And number 3, maybe you add some houses and trees and so on. Like, it just develops from there. And once again, you don't really have to write this down. If you feel like it helps to write it down, go ahead. But if you don't want to write it down, you can still just memorize it and be like, okay, first and foremost, I'm going to start with grass. Then I'm going to start shaping the hills. I don't know, like shaping the terrain. And then I'm going to add some houses, some trees, bushes, and whatnot. Like, it just comes from there. Because I am personally at a point where I don't need a plan written down. Like, I can just say, okay, I'm going to make a level design which is going to have these trees. Like, I'm going to use these assets, and that's pretty much it. I'll maybe look up like an image from Google, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like planning ahead of my level design. And then when I feel like I'm ready, I just mix it up with my own feelings, so I freestyle once again a little bit in quotation marks, and I just kind of be like, okay, I'm going to get started now. So I just follow a little plan that I have in my head, like, okay, I'm going to start by shaping the terrain so that I have my hills ready, and I just highlight a few parts where I'm going to place some rocks so that I don't forget about them, because I don't really have like a visual image representing my idea. I just kind of have it in my mind. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to highlight these parts, and then after I highlight them, I add some grasses to my terrain, you know, draw some paths, and maybe add a few models, prototype a little bit. And then when I'm done with that, I start placing my rocks on the highlighted parts. I'm like, okay, this doesn't look so good, so I just change it out. So the thing I'm trying to come up to, when you actually like are experienced in level designing, you're not going to need a strong plan. But from the beginning, I suggest it so strongly that you have a plan, so that you actually have a proper structure for your level. Because if you don't have it, once again, you're just going to lose track. You're not going to know what you have to do. You may know the engine inside out. You may know Unity better than me. I don't know, like whoever else. But if you don't have a proper structure of your level design that you're supposed to make, and you don't have a plan in your head, a idea that you actually have structured properly, it's not going to work out. When you sit there blank and don't know what to actually do next or don't know how to start, it doesn't mean that you're not creative enough for level designing. And if somebody tells you that, don't listen to them because they're just trying to put you down. If you're just sitting there blank, either when you're starting, continuing, or finishing up your level design, it simply means you don't know what's coming next, and that's because you don't have a plan. Imagine making a presentation in your class, which I know everybody hates, I hate it too. But imagine making a presentation. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a documentation that you're going to follow, a PowerPoint or whatever, and you don't have like these point or keywords that are written down, what are you gonna do? Are you just going to freestyle the entire PowerPoint? Perhaps. I mean, go for it if you want to. I've gone through the same shoes as you guys are going right now, but it's not going to work out because you're not going to finish it in time. You're going to, you know, oversend everything. You're going to start describing everything even more than what it's supposed to be. It's just not going to work out so good. So do like this. If you have an idea right now, write it down or draw an image, you know, make a prototype, whatever. But make a plan before you start level designing and try it. Like, try making a level design right after you watch this video. I challenge you to do that because that's the best way for you to actually practice. Because if you just sit down now after the video and be like, okay, I'm going to make a, I don't know, apocalyptic level, right? A abandoned city. Just start making a plan. Like, okay, first and foremost, I'm going to shape my terrain so that I know where the buildings are supposed to be, what kind of height they're supposed to be at, so that I can see the sun, the skies, the clouds, you know, whatever, so that the houses don't block and whatever. And, you know, I'm going to start off by placing some grasses after I actually have my shape of the terrain. Then I can start placing some buildings and see where I should have the grasses so that it don't become way too much or way too little or way too less. So sit down, make a plan, and then try making a level design like after that plan. And the plan doesn't have to be very, very constructed or like very good built. It's just supposed to be proper. Like, as soon as you feel like it's proper and you can follow it, make it. Like, go ahead and do it. Anyway, that was my rant for this video. I know it sounds like a rant, and I hope it doesn't actually. Like, I know it does a little bit, but I just hope it doesn't bother you guys. Like, I'm trying to be, I'm not that much of a motivational guy, but I still like to try and motivate people so that I can like inspire you guys into making more level designs, I guess, because I feel like I'm not that good, like I'm not godlike. I just feel like I have good enough experience to talk to you guys about some tips that I can give you, my personal experiences, and, you know, just some honest feedback. Before I end this video, guys, I also want to ask you for the new series that I am planning on making. So I would make a series of videos where I kind of judge your level designs, your games, and whatnot. And even if you have games, I could actually play them and judge them so that you can give, like, by judge, I don't mean that I'm going to roast you or whatever. I'm just going to give you guys an honest feedback. Be like, okay, the, you know, buildings are very good, but you could actually work on the vegetation a little bit more. And I am going to demonstrate how you could actually make it better so that I give you a visual example of how you can make it better for yourself. Let me know in the comments urgently what you think of this idea, because I'm planning on making it. And once again, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the video suggestions for tutorials that I'm going to be making, let me know what kind of tutorials you want, and let me know what you think of this new series that I'm planning to start. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to leave a like down below. It really supports me a lot, guys. And most importantly, comment about the series that I'm planning to do and the tutorial videos once again. And even if you just want to say hi, you're always welcome. And with that being said, also hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date for new videos coming soon, and I will catch you guys in the comments. See you guys, peace out, bye bye.